The world's most powerful football agents don't just chase players. They build empires of influence that last for decades. While most of us are laser-focused on climbing the next rung of the ladder, these people are busy building the ladder itself. They aren't just playing the game. They're designing the stadium, writing the rules, and selling the tickets. What if the fastest way to build real, lasting wealth and influence isn't about working harder? What if it's about thinking differently? The career advice we all get, keep your head down, do good work, and wait for your turn, is a roadmap to mediocrity. It's a path that leaves most people feeling undervalued, overlooked, and stuck. You see your ideas ignored in meetings, you watch people with less talent get the big opportunities, and you wonder, what am I doing wrong? The truth is, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just playing the wrong game. The real game, the power game, is played by a different set of rules. It's a game of leverage, long-term vision, and strategic influence. It's the game that people like Jorge Mendes, the late Mino Raiola, and his successor Rafaela Pimenta have mastered. These aren't just agents. They are career architects and masters of leverage who orchestrate multi-million-dollar deals and shape a global industry. They understand that power isn't something you're given. It's something you build piece by strategic piece. The good news? Their strategies aren't secrets reserved for elite sports. They're a playbook, a framework you can copy and apply to your own career, whether you're an entrepreneur, a creative, or a software engineer. This is the Agent's Power Playbook. It's about shifting your mindset from being a pawn on the board to being the hand that moves the pieces. So, in this video, I'm going to break down 5 core strategies from this playbook. We're going to dissect how the world's top agents build their influence, and I'll give you actionable steps to apply these same power dynamics to your own life. This is about moving from chasing opportunities to making opportunities chase you. And no, this isn't about sleazy office politics. This is about building an empire of leverage and long-term wealth, grounded in real value and flawless execution. So if you're ready to stop playing checkers and start playing chess, let's begin. All right, first up is a fundamental misunderstanding of what networking actually is. The common advice is a recipe for wasted time. Go to every event, collect 1,000 business cards, connect with everyone on LinkedIn, and hope something sticks. That's the equivalent of a low-level agent spamming every young player on social media, begging for a chance. It's noisy, desperate, and totally ineffective. Top agents operate in a completely different way. They don't chase hundreds of players. They build deep, unshakable relationships with a handful of club presidents, sporting directors, and key decision-makers. Super agent Jorge Mendes didn't become a powerhouse by knowing every player. He became powerful by being the trusted advisor to the people who signed the players. His grip on Portuguese talent is legendary because he started by building those relationships. His very first deal was for a goalkeeper named Nuno Santo. That one relationship, nurtured over time, became a gateway to countless others. When an agent like this calls a club, the call gets answered. They have leverage because they've cultivated trust with the nodes of power in the network, not just the leaves. So, how do you translate this to your career? You stop collecting contacts and start cultivating allies. First, identify the 5 to 10 key decision makers in your industry. These aren't your peers. They're the VPs, the department heads, the investors, the people whose decisions can change your entire career path. Next, you use what I call the value-first approach. For the next 90 days, your only goal is to provide value to these people with zero expectation of anything in return. Just like an agent gives a club valuable intel on players, you need to become a source of value. This could be a short email with an article relevant to a problem they're facing, a thoughtful introduction to someone who could help them, or a unique insight you found. You're not asking for a job. You're demonstrating your expertise and generosity, building a reputation as a strategic thinker. This is how you go from being just another name in a database to a trusted advisor. This is how you build a network that pulls you up so you don't have to push your way through it. The second strategy demands a radical shift in how you see time and value. Most people are stuck on a short-term gain frequency. They're thinking about the next paycheck, the next quarterly review, the next small promotion. They see their career as a single job on a linear path. That's the mindset of an amateur player who only thinks about the next match. A top agent is a master of the long game. They don't just handle one transfer. They manage a player's entire career arc from a rising star in a youth academy to post-career planning. Agencies like CAA and Wasserman don't just get their clients a contract. They provide a full suite of services, including media training and financial guidance. They know a player's career is a multi-decade asset, a portfolio to be managed and grown. Their thinking isn't just about the next transfer fee. It's about building a legacy and maximizing lifetime value. To apply this, stop thinking like an employee and start acting like the CEO of You Incorporated. Your career is not your job. Your job is just one asset in your portfolio. First, actively diversify your income streams. For you, this could mean your salary, plus a consulting side hustle, angel investing, or creating a small digital product. The goal is to build at least 3 distinct income streams, so your financial security is never tied to a single employer. Second, start negotiating for equity, not just salary. Top agents do this because they know that salary is just renting out your time, while equity is ownership. In your next negotiation, explore opportunities for stock options, profit sharing, or a direct stake in the outcome. Even a small piece of a growing business can be worth exponentially more than a 10% raise. Finally, ruthlessly invest in your own back-end infrastructure. An agent makes sure their client has the best trainers and coaches. You need to do the same for yourself. This means setting a budget for your own development, hiring a coach, paying for therapy to build resilience, joining a high-level mastermind, or taking advanced courses. Most people wait for their company to pay for training. Power players invest in themselves because they know they are their own most valuable asset. This is the difference between earning a living and building a fortune. If you're finding these strategies valuable, do me a quick favor and hit the like button. It tells the algorithm you're getting good info and helps more people see this and change their own career game. The third strategy is probably the most powerful and the most misunderstood: mastering leverage. We have this toxic myth of the self-made individual, the lone wolf who builds an empire alone. That's a fantasy. The most powerful people aren't masters of doing everything. They're masters of leverage. Look at any top sports agency. Jorge Mendes' Gestifute or Jonathan Barnett's Say A Stellar are not one-man shows. They are empires built on leverage. These super agents employ teams of scouts, lawyers, marketers, and financial advisors. The agent's main job isn't to do all the work, but to architect the system and leverage other people's time, OPT, and other people's knowledge, OPK. When Rafaela Pimenta took over the late Mino Raiola's agency, she didn't just inherit a list of players. She inherited an entire infrastructure of influence he had built over decades. She could step in and command power instantly because the system of leverage was already there. So what does this mean for you? It means you have to wage a war against the idea that you have to do everything yourself. Your most valuable resource isn't your time, it's your focus. And you're likely wasting it on low-value tasks that someone else should be doing. First, do a brutal audit of your time. For 1 week, track everything. Then, categorize each task. Is it in your zone of genius, high-value work only you can do? Zone of excellence, things you're good at but others could do? Zone of competence, tasks you can do but poorly? Or zone of incompetence, tasks you're bad at and that drain you? Your goal is to eliminate, automate, or delegate everything outside your zone of genius. Start with other people's knowledge. Are you spending 20 hours trying to build a website? Hire a freelancer who can do it in 3. Struggling to understand a new marketing channel? Pay for a few hours of a consultant's time instead of wasting months on trial and error. Stop seeing this as an expense and start seeing it as an investment in your focus. Next, embrace other people's time. A virtual assistant for 5 hours a week can handle scheduling and research, freeing you up for strategy. You might think you can't afford it, but the truth is you can't afford not to. The time you free up, when put back into your zone of genius, will generate a return that dwarfs the cost. The power game isn't about working more hours. It's about making the hours you work count for more. Strategy 4 is all about strategic positioning. It's the art of picking a battlefield where you have a natural advantage. So many people spend their careers trying to be a jack of all trades in a crowded market. They're a marketing professional or a software developer. They're competent, but they're also a commodity, easily replaced. The best agents understand niche domination. Not everyone is trying to sign the next global superstar. Some, like Volker Struth, built their empire by focusing almost exclusively on the German market, becoming the undisputed expert there. Others might specialize only in representing coaches, a less glamorous but incredibly influential niche. They find a table where they can become the #1 most trusted authority. They'd rather be a giant in a small, valuable pond than a minnow in the ocean. In a niche, you don't compete, you get sought out. To do this, you need honest self-assessment and some courage. First, what's your edge? What's your unique combination of skills, experiences, and passions? It's never just one thing, it's the intersection. Maybe you're an accountant who's also obsessed with the renewable energy sector, or a graphic designer who has spent years in e-commerce fashion. Your edge is in that combination. Once you find that intersection, define a specific, high-value problem you can solve. The accountant who loves renewables shouldn't just be an accountant. They should be the go-to financial consultant for early-stage solar startups. The designer should be the brand identity specialist for direct-to-consumer fashion labels. The specificity is your power. Finally, once you've picked your table, your mission is to dominate it. Go deeper than anyone else. Read every book, listen to every podcast, talk to every expert. Publish your insights. Your goal is to become so knowledgeable that you're the first person people think of when your niche is mentioned. When you're a generalist, you chase opportunities. When you're a specialist, opportunities find you. The final strategy is the glue that holds this all together: impeccable execution. In an industry with thousands of agents, the single most valuable asset isn't a client list, it's trust. An agent's reputation is their ultimate currency. Top agencies like Wasserman and CAA Stellar win the biggest clients because they are known for their absolute professionalism and their ability to handle high-pressure crises with quiet competence. A single broken promise or sloppy mistake can demolish a reputation that took a decade to build. This commitment to flawlessness isn't a soft skill, it's the bedrock of their power. In your career, your personal brand isn't a logo. It's the collective experience people have when they work with you. It's a promise of quality and reliability. Impeccable execution is how you fortify that promise. It's the simplest strategy on this list, and also the hardest. First, consistently underpromise and overdeliver. Always build a buffer into your deadlines. Always aim for a quality of work that slightly exceeds expectations. This small surplus of excellence, delivered over and over, builds a massive surplus of trust. Second, track and present your wins like an agent. Agents don't just say a client is good. They show up with a dossier of performance data. You have to do the same. Keep a win file. For every project, document the outcome in numbers. Increased lead generation by 15%. Cut the project timeline by 2 weeks. This isn't arrogance, it's evidence. It transforms your value from a vague claim into a documented fact. Finally, be a consummate professional. Always answer emails promptly. Show up prepared. Communicate with clarity, especially when there's bad news. Take ownership of your mistakes without making excuses. These small things, compounded over a career, are what separate amateurs from power players. They're the foundation of a reputation that makes people want to work with you, promote you, and invest in you. So there you have it, the core of the agent's power playbook. Let's quickly recap. 1. Stop collecting contacts and start building a powerful network by giving value first. 2. Stop thinking about your job and start managing your career like a diversified portfolio. 3. Stop doing it all and master leverage by using other people's time and knowledge. 4. Stop being a generalist and dominate a valuable niche. And 5. Build an impeccable reputation because trust is your ultimate currency. The central theme here is a profound shift in mindset. Stop thinking like an employee who waits for permission and follows a set path. Start thinking like an agent, an owner, an architect of your own empire. The goal is no longer just to play the game better. It's to rig the game in your favor. It's to build a system of influence, leverage, and wealth that works for you, long after you've stopped clocking in. This is how you build a career that is not just successful, but powerful. Apply these strategies, and if you want the full system, subscribe for the Power Playbook that I'll be launching later this year. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching.